So just because your kid makes a fancy brochure or a cute poster doesn't necessarily mean that they're doing project-based learning. In this video, I'm going to talk to you about what real project-based learning looks like and what you can do at home to make sure your kid gets that opportunity. Hi, I'm Katie Anderson, mom, gifted teacher, gifted endorsement teacher, and curriculum writer. You're already a pro at parenting, so stay tuned and let me help you become a pro at teaching. So this week, like I said, we're going to be talking about PBL, or project-based learning. And if you like this video, or if you have ideas for other videos you wish I would make, I would really appreciate it if you'd like and subscribe and put those comments down below so I can make a video for you. What does project-based learning really look like? Well, for starters, it needs to be student-centered, not parent or teacher-centered. The other thing we're looking for is the kids developing a deeper knowledge base and deeper understanding of the concepts or the topics than what would traditionally be seen in a regular subject area curriculum. Another thing we're looking for is active engagement on the kids' part. They need to be truly actively exploring the information, the content, and the process along the way. And the other thing that we're looking for is real-world challenges, not just memorizing and regurgitating. We're looking for these kids being able to show that they're diving deep into things that really matter in the real world to them and to the community around them. So where do we start? We start with a problem or a guiding question. And this needs to be something more than a question you could just Google and let Google give you the answer. It needs to be something deeper than that. And what I mean by kid-centered is maybe they help you come up with that problem right from the beginning, or maybe you have to start the process and put the kids in charge. They need to be in charge of thinking of lots of solutions to that problem, lots of ways they can show you what they're learning. And this is where those 21st century skills come back. If you haven't seen that video yet, I'll put a link to it in the description below. I have a whole video on what those 21st century skills should look like. But right now, in the heart of the process of their project-based learning is where we should encourage them to use those skills. Remember, they're skills like creative thinking, critical thinking, collaboration, and communication. Now that final communication piece that they come up with at the end of the project that you've given them or that they've come up with sometimes will look like a brochure or a poster, which is fine. Just make sure that we're keeping the process along the way as far more important than the final product they show us at the end. We're looking for process over product. That's a big, big key in project-based learning. We're also making sure that there is a real authentic purpose or real-world application to whatever the project is that we have them doing. So what can you do at home? The first step is, of course, to come up with what the problem is. Come up with your guiding question. And like I said before, maybe you sit down and have a conversation with your kiddos and ask them some things that they're interested in. Come up with this project together. Come up with what the real problem is. Maybe this is helping a local business become more environmentally sustainable. Maybe it's designing and building a model to show something that they've learned, like a better way to build a bridge that can hold its own weight and span over a certain number of centimeters, given parameters and given materials. Maybe it's designing a colony realistically, designing a colony in what we would need to be able to survive if we did end up living off of planet Earth. Maybe they're creating a documentary to show something else that they're interested in. They create a documentary to help evoke a change in other people's thinking. Whatever the problem is, that's where you have to start, making sure that they're interested in coming up with solutions to that problem, okay? Then the next step is to go over your expectations together. The best way to do this, I've found, is to use rubrics, because then the children know everything that you're hoping they will learn and do along the way. And I have a video on rubrics as well. I'll also put that link in the description section below. Once you've gone over the expectations, this is where you put the kids in charge of the process, really let the kids be in charge, but you're there to facilitate. So you're not there to micromanage the process, you're there to facilitate and help encourage and steer them in the right direction so that they're learning goal setting and they're learning time management and they're remembering to look back on that rubric and know what to expect. They can use you as a bouncing board for ideas. This is where we're really, really encouraging creative thinking and not just feeling like there's only one right answer or one right solution to this problem. Another thing that I think is super important so that these kids see that their learning has real purpose is to find them an authentic audience. This might be a mentor, it might be someone from a local business, maybe they're working on a project that deals in architecture, and so get them in front of an architect to talk about it, to really dive in and see if they're on the right track or they have some better feedback. But having an authentic audience instead of just doing a project to stick it in a folder and check it off as done helps make the process of project-based learning feel more purposeful to the kids. They're going to want to learn. They're going to want to do even better if they have someone to put it in front of. And the very last step is to reflect. Sit down together, reflect on the process, reflect on how well they did, ways they could have get better in a future project. Reflect on how you both feel about the process and how it went. So in summary, when we're talking about PBL or project-based learning, we need it to be student-centered. We need to see active engagement on the student's part. We need to see a deeper understandings of content than we normally would in a traditional setting, and we for sure need to see real-world challenges. I hope you like this video. If so, please make sure you like and subscribe. Add those comments below so I can make a video for you, and I'll see you next time. Until then, happy teaching, parents.